So my full name is Akia Cherwa Opoku.
Oh, now that's beautiful.
I love that.
Akia means a girl born on Wednesday, but it also means queen of the leader. We don't move on, we move in. Powerful name. It kind of precedes you. It makes people sit up.
His death was one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And who would say that? That sounds crazy.
That
right?
does sound crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
And that sound crazy?
That sounds.
It was devastating, but it was so beautiful.
I feel like I got a free therapy session.
I feel something. I don't know.
Appreciate it.
No.
You hit my soul. You like break down dreams and stuff too.
I don't do all that.
You're now going into the corners of
I was about to break
Lower
down
East Side.
dream I had
a little
last
dark
night.
room. Like,
What is a psychotherapist? Three, two, one.
1, 2, 3.
This is the
Quiet truth.
All right, so we're back.
Less
I'm
than a
so
week or something
excited.
like that.
We literally hit the ground running.
Yeah.
We literally hit the ground running. E flew up to New York. He's staying with me. We're like, yo, we're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I think I've never spent this much time with a dude in forever. Like,
It's been since college for me, man. I'm like, are you sick of me yet, man?
oh my God, it's been crazy. I've been seeing so much of this guy. He's across the hall from me in the house. He's in the bathroom. I'm like, yo, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
No, but it's amazing. It was an incredible experience. We were talking about the quiet truth about the power of name and naming things.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, when we were talking about it, we were discussing our last names and first names and your middle name, which you refuse to share with anybody.
Yeah, and it's my own personal private. I gotta have something for just me, the kids, and the wife.
I'm not mad at that.
You know what I mean?
But our names have, especially in the Nigerian culture, have very significant meanings. Ekechukwu means, God is in you. Chukwu, right? Chukwu, Ekechukwu, God is in you. And Chilaka, God speaks. Spirit speaks. So it's a lot of Martin, just Martin. I mean, and obviously Enitan Barriola has a lot of deep meanings there as well.
Yeah. Barriola, someone deserving honor, and anytime someone with a story to tell.
So it's amazing. So before we jump in, I'd love to kind of know some specific background about your name, like the naming conventions. And so here we have Dr. Boateng. Extremely excited to have this conversation because I feel like you have an incredible point of view when it comes to all things mental health, all things naming, how are we feeling, licensed psychotherapist. I need to understand what psychotherapy is first of all.
Psychotherapy, psychology. What's
There's
all the
a
difference?
lot of pieces
between...
there. I need to understand and unpack, but I want to first off start out by tell us your name and tell us the origins of your name, if there's meaning behind it.
Absolutely. You want my government name?
I want the name that has meaning.
So my full name is Akia Cherwa Opoku.
Oh, now that's beautiful.
I love that.
That is beautiful.
Opoku.
Opoku
Boateng.
Yes, perfect.
That feels right.
Right. So Akia in the my family's from Ghana, West Africa. And Akia means a girl born on Wednesday in the Ashanti tribe, right? So the Ashanti tribe is known for many things, but our names are, they correspond to the days of the week, right? And so Akia means a girl born on Wednesday, but it also means queen of the leader.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. I learned that actually in my adulthood. We never really used that naming until my adulthood. So queen of the leader, Cherwa, I actually don't know the meaning of my middle name. Opoku is a royal people. And Boaten is a caring people.
Oh man, I feel like your career almost
your life
beautifully aligned.
That's how it works.
Of you, like caring of people,
Absolutely.
helping people, going deep into it, being the leader of people. Absolutely. Yo, we just got a word here, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. So, Dr. Boateng, what is a psychotherapist?
A psychotherapist is like a fancy way of saying therapist. So in our common culture, we say therapist, right? The original name is psychotherapist, right? The psychology and then the practice. is really what psychotherapist is. And so it's a systematic or structured way of doing psychotherapy where we see folks for a limited amount of time, but we have a way of doing therapy that's pretty structured, and that's psychotherapy. I'm a psychotherapist.
You like break down dreams and stuff too?
I don't do all that.
You're now going into the corners
I was
of
about to break
ain't
down
doing
a
that.
dream I had
a little
last
dark
night.
room. Like, no,
We ain't
man.
doing that. We ain't doing all
Like, yo,
that.
what does this mean, Dr. Boateng? I don't understand what this means.
We could talk about that. See, I feel like I'm like an unlicensed bootleg therapist. I've been
this. Break this down for me.
So all of my life, I mean, in middle school, so I'm a child of divorce, so I would like listen to my parents, right? And sometimes I would like offer advice, and sometimes they would listen to this child, which is really interesting. And then that came to middle school, where I had this position in middle school where I was like a student aide or something like that would like take phone calls from students and address their issues. So I had this desire in middle school to become a psychologist, especially when I learned about how much, how lucrative it can be. But also I had an innate desire to help others through their issues.
Okay.
And when I got to high school and I studied sociology and we had to learn all the studies, I was like, never mind.
You was out.
Yeah, I was like, I want to help people. I don't want to do all this. I took in college like a few classes in psychology.
Yeah.
And even in my work, like from writing the books to all of the people that I help behind the scenes. There's a lot of people who come to me quietly that I'm helping through life. So I'm a bootleg without the license. Like I feel almost kind of
a
like
bootleg. I mean,
I can't be saying like, you know what I'm saying? You did the work for it. You got the degrees and all that. I'm just like, I do have something to offer, but I love to dive in and I haven't sat down, sadly, with a therapist in probably since 2020, and it was virtual.
Okay.
And it was kind of a weird experience. I don't know if you've done virtual therapy, but she started to like say things like she knew who I was or something. And I got kind of uncomfortable. It didn't seem like this privilege of confidentiality. She would say certain things. Like I was like, "Are you like on my Instagram account? Are you like what's going on?"
I need to go to therapy. I've not gone to therapy in a long time.
Yeah.
All of my therapies were all through my marriages.
Yeah.
Not this one. This one I've not gone to therapy on. I hope I don't ever have to, frankly. But the first two, I was always in a therapist's office with my wives at the time. I'm married 3 times. So my third one has been amazing. The first two, we spent thousands of dollars trying to figure out something that I ended up having to get divorced over. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But the one thing I want to get to, naming. I feel like for us, when it comes to a name and the power of it, especially for us as Nigerian, West African heritage individuals, right? That name gives us a lot of pride, a lot of ability to call back to the lineage and the ancestors and all those things in a much more fruitful way than others. Like Black Americans, I think, could. And I think we've talked about this as well, about the difficulty being African and Black American and having the cultural nuances between the two, having to manage that.
Difficulty and benefit. But I would love to know, Dr. Boateng, it's like, when we're getting into the power of the name, what are you seeing in your practice when it comes to how people name things? Whether it's my own heritage and my naming convention that takes me back to a time of place. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a descendant of slaves, and so I don't necessarily own my name per se, right? And I've got to hunt for those things, which could lead into identity as well. I mean, and then we'll get into some other things around name, but I really want to start there because I think that how we name ourselves, our names, because people even change their names. Malcolm X obviously changed their name. People have changed their names to be able to have more ownership of their name. Migrate from Africa and they have this American names to kind of assimilate.
I'm Martin. My parents put me as Martin in the United States versus Chilaka, which is,
my cousin, same thing. They had these new names. I was like, what is
So my identity, while I have a Nigerian identity, I had to create an American identity on top of that so I can assimilate better. So I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, this is a powerful conversation. There are so many names that people can go by, but basically what we know about our names from African tradition is that our name plays out who we will become in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Whether we like it or we don't, the etymology of a name is very powerful. It sets us on a course to who we will become, what we will manifest in the world, who we will connect with, what we will be. And so when folks, for better or worse, again, when folks come into therapy, I am really conscious of not only what they call me, but what they call themselves.
Oh, wow.
Right? So mainly therapists will, when you come into the space, they will say, tell me about yourself and what brings you in today. And so it's an open kind of blank canvas to talk about yourself. And some people will come and say, oh, I am a mom. I'm a dad. I am a lawyer. I am a sister, a brother. I am, I'm a mess up. I'm crazy. There's so many ways that people describe themselves, and it creates a narrative of their self-belief. Their view of self is really connected to your name.
Wow.
Right?
How do you refer to yourself?
In session or in general?
Just in general.
Aquia.
How about you? Or like, yeah, how about you?
I mean, I'm Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
I've been Martin. People know me, I'm Martin. But there is a thing related to name that we talked about last time, which was where you are in your life. You could you could have a different name.
Yeah.
Where you're in life. Like when I was younger, I was Chichi. So Chichi because it's tied to my middle name. So my entire family, when I was a kid, I was Chichi. When I got to be a little bit older, they called me Chilaka. So my family calls me Chilaka and Chichi the entire time. My mom has her own name for me as well. And then when I got to be older and moved to the States, more of an adult, I became Martin, right? So depending on where I meet you in my life, depends on where what name you use for me. Even my college friends, they also have a different name as for me as well, but theirs is not friendly. It's different, but you as well. It's like you were talking about Eniton, Eniton, Aniton, anytime.
Yeah, I mean, I have all these different variations of my name because, you know, I'm sure you've had people mispronounce your name before they call roll, you shoot your hand up because you're like, you already know when they start stuttering. And I had earlier in my life, it was, people said Eniton. And then from middle school on, it became Anaton from middle school to college. And I started to stop correcting people because it's like, and then it wasn't until maybe my mid-30s where I owned exactly who I am. I became more aligned with my identity. And I'm going to correct. I'm prepared to correct whoever is going to mess it up. But I still have to correct like people who've known me 20 plus years and still mispronounce my name, even though it's like embedded in them. But I now, you know, we both have this thing where we have pride for who we are. So we're going to go through the 2-minute long dialogue and the inconvenience of, no, anytime, not anytime.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So pass it back to you so we could dive into the...
Well, I mean, do you correct people on your last name?
It depends.
Okay.
Growing up, I did not. I got everything.
I think all of us did.
I mean,
we did not. Yeah.
And that was interesting that I heard exactly.
Trying to just be cozy and
trying to blend in. Sometimes even trying to minimize. When you have such a powerful name, it kind of precedes you. It makes people sit up. It makes people pay attention.
Oh, sure does.
Because they have to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Right? So it takes up a lot of space. And when we're growing up, we may not actually want to live in that really big and powerful space. It makes people feel uncomfortable. It makes people feel less than.
Or anxious, right?
Or anxious.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so we just want to blend in. We want to assimilate, which is a very African thing. We'll talk about that later.
Interesting.
But we want to be apart, not set apart. And it's interesting that as we get older, we learn how to embody that power in what we're doing in our path, in our mission, in our purpose. And so it's interesting how the different phases of your life and what people call you could actually be connected to your own sense of value and self-worth and confidence in your purpose.
How do you carry the power of your name these days? Because you mentioned like taking up space.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of the space that I occupy just by being, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I will tone things down and make people cozy and comfortable. Sort of the same for you. You're aware of the superpower that you possess.
Yeah.
and you know how it can make certain people feel in certain rooms that you're trying to navigate with ease. Like,
Yeah.
how do you carry and navigate the power of your name?
Yeah, I really do. Wherever I am, I want to usher people into their own power.
Hmm.
And so I sit as a symbol
Hmm.
and a model of what it feels like to actually sit in the etymology of your name.
Hmm.
I actually go through that with clients. And many clients that have American names actually don't know the meaning of their name, or they don't really actually research and look at it,
Mhm.
right? And so for me, I'm owning my power by actually saying my name.
Hmm.
I'm also modeling what it looks like to embody everything that comes with my name, not just the letters, but the purpose and mission
Mhm.
attached to what does it mean to be the queen of the leader,
Hmm.
right? What does it mean to be a caring people that you walk in the world with a sense of empathy that people can look up to, people can draw from, and hopefully be transformed by.
Listen, I think that's incredible, and the naming piece for us having a much more of a closer tie to our African roots.
Yeah.
The challenge always comes down to when you step into a much more of a Black American culture, and now you have, I want to say, for lack of better terms, like this diasporic clash,
Absolutely.
right? To where I'm very clear about my lineage, my heritage, where I came from.
Right.
You may not.
Right.
And so there's a thing about finding culture, finding your name, finding your roots that we don't necessarily have to go through very difficult of a pathway to figure that out.
Yeah.
Right.
We can just call our dad, hey, so what was great grandpa about? Oh, he was like the chief of the village out of this other thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like my great grandfather was chief of the village. His father was chief of the village.
Yep.
And we know what plot of land we started on. I can take it all the way back.
Yep.
That part's easy. But then that's tied again to the rooting of our name. So how does it work if you are a person of color that's not from West Africa, meaning you can't necessarily tie, that you're obviously from there, but can't necessarily tie yourself directly to a country in particular. How do you actually help people identify a rooting? Because I think that's a lot of times our difficulty is a rooting. If you don't feel anchored in something,
speak on it.
how do you truly build from the lack of a base?
Yeah.
And that's the challenge that I also have, I've been married to Black women. My wife is from Canada. Her roots are in Venezuela. Her roots are in Yugoslavia, the different places. So it's like Trinidad, those places are very clear too. So I'm in a relationship now to where our rooting is clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we know where we come from. How do you help those that are trying to find their rooting? Name is one thing, but how do you go deeper?
Well, it's all about tradition and culture, right? Just like I think African tradition, it's the tribe. We go back to the tribe. Some people, that's a painful history, right? It's a painful history to think about what your lineage has gone through. And also the lack of realized potential.
Oh, yeah.
That history has, dawned on your family. However, your tribe is your name. The people that have persevered, the people that have told you who you are, the people that have become great in spite of who they were up against. That is the power that sits in your name. When you say your last name, when you say Jones, when you say Jackson, when you say Jenkins, that is a powerful people, right? And so you sit on the shoulders of those that have been resilient, those that have actually even fallen and had great, travail. However, you are still here.
Yeah.
Right? And so a lot of times for folks that have a powerful lineage and tribe, that is their anchor. It's the aunties, it's the uncles, it's the folks that have poured into them. Sometimes it's just the neighborhood, the neighborhood that watched over you, that told you, hey, the streetlight's coming on, you better go home.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That community that anchors you in tradition of just the resilience and power and brilliance of Black people. And then also on the other side of that, sometimes people have come from trauma.
Yeah.
Their family has been like, they're second generation substance abusers.
Wow.
They're folks that have been murderers, have been in prison. There are people that have not graduated from college. And that is also a part of your lineage, right? And so allowing you to not let that name project who you will be is a very difficult thing for many people.
So,
that is the negative side of naming.
Yeah.
Right? And what we know in the research is if we name something, and name an emotion or name a psychological state that we're in before regulating it, it actually makes us feel worse. It is a limitation and it impedes our progress. Right? And so there's a process of like metabolizing your history, learning about the trauma, understanding how it's shaped you and how it's made you, and the proclivities that you have that are just instinctual, right? It's that epigenetics, it's in your body, it's in your bones, right? Understanding that allows you to use that history. You're still going to use it. Use that tribe and history as a lesson, right? Of what we must overcome in this generation.
Yes.
Right? And so it's always the tribe. The tribe has many colors, but we always use it.
So the trauma is useful, right? Like it's like it happened, you acknowledge it, but you're leveraging that trauma is a lesson, that loss or whatever it may be is a lesson to help you navigate this juncture of the journey so that those that come after you are better set up in the same way that those who came before us set us up.
And I also think that naming the trauma itself, whether it's betrayal, whether it is, some sort of unfortunate assault, or whether it's something that was ultimately negative towards you, sometimes positive, because you can name that too. But does that allow you to sort of like move on, be able to have this really deep conversation? You betrayed me in this moment. And by me telling you you betrayed me, that allows us to build or B, pivot. So I'm curious as to how deep do you have to go in these things to where you have to name the thing, like say that you were betrayed, say that they did you wrong. I remember when I was a kid, I used to defend my friends to the ends of the earth. I had this boy named Dennis in Enugu, in our place outside. No, real talk. Like seriously, his name was Dennis. He lived next door. He was my only friend. He was German and Nigerian. And I used to go over to his house. He was about 3 years older than me. And he used to just crush me in all things. Meaning like he used to wrestle me down until I cried. He used to just hit me, beat me up. And I would go back every single time. And my mom would be like, why do you keep going back? He is not nice. He does. It's like, no, he's fine. It's not that. And I would blame it's like, no, it's me. It's like literally I was like a traumatic kid. It's like, so I'm saying, so it wasn't until I was later in life that I was like, this dude was like really abusing me as a kid. He was like a really evil genius. He really was. Wow. And so one day, I think he flew to see my parents. Their parents went through a thing. His mom died, his dad died, the whole thing. So it was tragic. And my dad was like, hey, you should come through and see Dennis. It's like, no, fuck that nigga. I'm not seeing him. I'm like, no, never. It's like, I'm now clear about the type of person he was. And he was an evil person when he was a child. I have no reason to fuck with him at all. None. So it's like, so for me, naming and identifying the fact that this person was not good for me allowed me to build. How does that work in psychotherapy?
Yeah. That's layered. There's so many layers to that one.
I don't even tell that story, frankly.
Yeah,
I don't.
First time hearing it, man.
That's good because I like to say many folks, most of us, it's kind of human behavior thing. We want to move on, right? We want to move forward. We want to get away from, we want to rise above. But really in the process of healing, we don't move on, we move in. Yeah, we move into the pain. We move through the pain in order to be able to use it for our good. Right? And what that looks like is I thought about Dennis and Dennis was like, he was it was opposition.
Yeah.
but he was your only.
Yeah. That's right. My only. That's true.
And so what happens when we are in a world where our only is our opposition?
Wow.
That's deep.
A lot of people
Right?
born into that.
We that sense of belonging is so strong. It's like a human thing.
You can't see yourself.
We need people. And also we are like weaving in all these narratives around those that are close to us harm us. You know, in childhood, we have to navigate that, right? Hopefully Dennis is, healed and got his life together.
I hope he's good.
Hope he's good.
Wow.
But really moving into that allows you to know how that shaped you.
Yeah.
Moving into that allows you to see the traces of Dennis in your current relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we move on, we don't get those things. If we move on, we can't actually say, blessed are those who mourn, right? Because at the end of that arc of pain is wisdom. It's insight, right? It is all of the thing that we need that helps us to heal and move forward in a stronger position, right? Not a weaker position. If we move forward and move on,
little bumps.
right? If we move on, it just lives in us.
Wow.
And then it's passed down through generation, through bloodline.
It just, we already know about the research that it like literally weaves itself into our DNA and our DNA code. And we actually do pass that on in our seed to the next generation. And so the idea of metabolizing emotion is the most central part of healing. We talk about it with food. It's the same principle. We eat. We break down, we process what we need, and we let go of the waste.
That is so beautiful. It's like I do these things, right? I take this trip, I'm gonna have to go home. I'm gonna make space and take time to process before I move to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
When my father transitioned in 2021, it was a really interesting moment because speaking of a name, I'm named after him.
Yeah.
And he was most worried about me, according to what my siblings said. I'm so worried about. But I ended up playing this role in the family where I was almost like the leader of the siblings, the leader of that moment, so to speak, because there was this acceptance, this surrendering to what was actually happening, and this acceptance to it, where a lot of the family at the time was kind of resisting and denying what was happening.
Yeah.
But he and I had this moment where I accepted and I received what was happening because he knew, and I said, "Okay, Daddy." So we had this exchange, and it was interesting that when he transitioned, for me to think about a parent leaving this earth while my parents were still leaving was one of the most painful things that I could my mind couldn't actually wrap around that idea. So I would just move on from that thought, right? Yeah. But when it actually happened, I moved in it because I knew that I needed to embrace what was happening because I couldn't escape it. Eventually is inevitable.
Yeah.
So that healing had to happen. So I was like, I might as well embrace this moment for what it is. So I let the whole thing wash over me. It was one of the most unearthly, uncanny spiritual experiences that I've had on this side of heaven. And I was experiencing so many things that are like naked to the eye typically.
Yeah.
I had like another level of clarity. I was on this high plane that I'd never been on as a result of the trauma.
Yep.
And I was able to communicate things that, I was giving advice like, where is this even coming from? It's how to navigate this for everyone else. And it's interesting. I think there's some sort of tie-in to who he was, who I am, what he gave me, the gifts that he gave. Even in his departure, I still hear his wisdom and his voice.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of in this state of, the wise one in the situation while everyone was healing. And I was healing as well, but it's just interesting because I never thought I would respond or react that way when we transitioned. But I was at a very clear, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Like his death was one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And who would say that? That sounds crazy.
That
right?
does sound crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
And that sounds crazy.
That sounds.
It was devastating, but it was so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. If I may, that's really really ties to what you said earlier around this really being you all along.
Ah,
How you would counsel people, how you would sit in emotional experiences with other people, for other people, right? And in some way that kind of providentially like has been your path all along,
yeah.
right? To like receive the like deep truths, the emotional truths of life,
Yeah.
however painful that is,
Yeah.
right? Being first on site
Yeah.
is like super painful and also really, really beautiful because you are able to usher other people through that process because you have been there all along. And so that is a powerful thing to even think about your preparation, even in childhood, for that moment. And why does it feel like not new? It's not new because you've been there.
That's God's work.
Whew. I think you just
gotta let that breathe.
I think you just got a session. I feel like you just got your.
I mean, it's
session.
I feel like that's also inevitable. I mean, it's how much are you? How much are you?
Nah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Though.
One thing I want to touch base on is like I saw a study, 2003 MIT Chicago study. It talked about that names that sound more white get a 50% higher callback.
Yeah.
That names that sound not white, basically, right? It could be anything else. So I'm always curious. I know the power in the name is there. And I know that, listen, we can take this so many different ways. We can talk about how the fact that you got to change your name so you can fit into and assimilate into culture. You got to act a particular way in the office. You got to code switch, culture switch, the whole 9 yards.
Switch anymore. I stopped. Like,
well, I think we have the benefit of not needing to code switch anymore, right? That's different. We have the absolute benefit because we show up as we show up because we are who we are and we do what we do, right? It's like I'm not walking into BlackRock. I'm not walking to Blackstone being this.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that.
Yeah.
So as a result, I'm already outside of particular industries. I can't walk in those rooms like I used to.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to, this is a different story. But I'm curious though, it's like, I know that power is in names. Why is it, and this may not necessarily be particularly square in your lane, why is it that we don't all recognize the power in the name? And so we give our kids these crazy ass names and walk in, and all of a sudden now you set them up for potential failure because we know it's not like we're walking in to the United States of America and like, oh, everyone is nice, no one judges, there's no racism, everything is good. We know what it is, right? My parents gave me Martin. Martin was always part of my name, but they're like, lead with Martin. Kennedy, my daughter, lead with Kennedy. Right? Because that's what it is. We're going to give her Kennedy Ikachuku so that she can have a gender agnostic opportunity in the marketplace. Even, my other kids, same thing. Very specific names, Leighton, Jameson, Wyatt. It's like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, you got it. Why don't we make better decisions when it comes to names for our lineage? Your kids, I don't know how public you like being with your kids.
I mean, my company name is named.
So
St. Miles,
like
Miles, Miles,
right?
know?
Miles.
Merciful Soldier is what his name is.
That's what I'm saying.
This dichotomous kind of.
Oh, that's dope.
Merciful soldier. How's a soldier most merciful? But it's funny because he exhibits from his birth. Like I was like, should we have named him? Because he's merciful, but then he's got this soldier mentality where he's ready. And I'm like, that duality is kind of beautiful.
There's that Key and Peele sketch. We have all those football players show up and Jaquarius Martin.
Yeah.
Aronian Gracious.
Shout out to Aquarius, man. I know you out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Aroni.
to Jay.
Why?
I have a theory. This is just a theory of mine.
Yeah.
It just came to mind. I wonder, as a people, we've gone through so much, right? And it wasn't by accident that they took our names.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
Right? Our names are connected to identity, culture, social status. We know that in our tribes. It's connected to the spirituality of our tribe. So many pieces are in a name. And I think that's been a systematic way of really taking us and, disenfranchising us from that lineage and that power. And so I wonder if some names are an act to reclaim the uniqueness, the power,
I love
the standoutness of who we have always been.
I think so.
I believe it. I
hope so.
believe it, and I stand by it because there is a powerful ceremony that we just talked about when you have to look at a name. You got to recognize the name. You got to think about what is the origin of this etymology? Like, how am I going to do this? I wonder if it's like a ancestral need and desire to, be in a place that we've always been, which is to stand out, to be colorful, to be majestic.
And I frankly, I absolutely believe that's the intent. I just believe that unfortunately we're not in the place where we have that luxury and that privilege out in the US. It's like there are places where you possibly can do it, but there's so many things I think that we are unfortunately behind on. We have hundreds of years of inequity that we're working through as a people in general within the United States. And I think that grabbing your power within your name makes a lot of sense holistically as a family unit. I got it. But the minute you try to get a job at JP Morgan Chase with Aquarius Johnson, it's tougher. It's just harder.
Yeah, harder but not impossible. And I believe that what you kind of look at what's most important, where does the value lie, what's more eternal, what's more sustainable, what is more valuable. And I believe that the name is, right? Like there are people in position. I'm sure there's plenty of CEOs. It's like you got to stop and pause. There's plenty successful examples of people that have names we still can't pronounce. I mean,
Jakowski.
What's the NBA player's name? Ajay. He's like
Oluwan. No.
Yeah, his jersey like goes across. His name goes across the whole
Minnesota.
Starts with an A.
Yeah, Timberwolves. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean exactly right. But he's doing his.
Yeah, it's true.
There's plenty people. I
think the big Greek.
Belichick.
So many.
Yeah,
there you go. I like that. I see what you did. Hey. I see what you did. Yeah.
That part.
So I'm like, I think what's most important, I don't think we should rob our children. I mean, we were kind of like hesitant. Initially, I wanted to at least think about naming Miles, Anytime Burial of the Third. As soon as my wife got pregnant, I was like, it just didn't sit right. Didn't seem like the thing to do. But we did ask my father, like, send us a list of names. Yeah. From the tribe that you would consider. He just sent all. I was like, no. All right, we're gonna run this by ourselves, babe. But I think we should take that initiative, and like you said, we're colorful. Yeah. I think we should stand on that. I think now more than anything, we should be resisting the opposition. You know what I mean? And like really standing firm and reclaiming who we are, especially in this I guess this desire to determine who we are. There's so many Black Americans who are on that journey, whether it's 21andMe, whether it's some DNA test or something, trying to figure out who they are, because there is so much power and value in that. And I know you said that if you don't know your identity, maybe you can tie it to your neighborhood, you can tie it to an aunt and uncle. Do you ever have patients or people that you encounter who just feel like they don't have anything to tether to, and they feel like they are just out here, they don't know themselves? Maybe I've been meeting a lot of people who've been adopted and their history seems to have been erased at that point. They don't connect. People that have step parents or have this and that, like, what do you say to those individuals?
Yeah, that happens a lot actually. And or the history that they have had is so painful that differentiating from that is the most important thing for them. And so it's about creating your own sense of identity, right? Based on the things that you gather about yourself in the moment, your ability to sit in self, understanding who you are, your personality type, the things that you find interest in, that you love doing. You might be a person that's just creative. And so let's look at that as tribe. right? Let's look at creatives. Let's look at folks that are, elite performers or athletic. And what does that tribe give you? What can you grab from that feels what we say is syntonic, right? That means that it aligns with what you feel. It's a psychological word, but it's syntonic. It feels syntonic. That feels like when someone says, "Oh, you felt really disrespected by that person." You're like, "Yeah, that's what I felt." That's syntonic. That's what that is, right? So sometimes it is about crafting and creating a sense of identity based on what you have presently. What people say about you, what you have done in the world, and what you're proud of.
And how much do you value, like, I think there is value in what people say about you, but people over-index on that, right? Like, sometimes they may not honor what they feel about themselves or take time to assess what they feel about themselves, so they just only receive and believe what people say about them. So what do you, like, where do you stand with, I guess, what you believe about yourself versus if you have, like, all your friends saying, or people that meet you for the first time, they're like, she got an attitude. But you're like, I'm the most, I'm like giving, what are you talking about? I'm sunshine. And where's that, like, how do you honor?
You might have an attitude, girl, but
hey, that's how I feel about it. If 30 people saying it, but you got your own opinion.
But let's use that. Yeah. let's use that. You got an attitude. What does that mean? Right? Like, you have an attitude. Does that mean that you are, you align with justice? Right? That you're angry about the ways that people are treated or the ways that people don't understand, or you feel misunderstood. Right? Yeah, you got an attitude. What does that mean? That you're defiant. And let's use that. I like that. And so whatever it is that you are gathering from the external, obviously there needs to be a balance, right? If you're not sitting in, and I always say sit in, because you have to have that type of internal locus of control is what we call it, right? This sense of self that you know that you are chief in understanding yourself.
Yes.
However, yes, grab the data. If people are saying, it's the other way around. People are saying you are just so talented, and you're saying, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not good at anything. Take the data. Yes, you are. You are talented. Yep. Receive it, because even if you don't understand it, the world does. Right? And they perceive it, and it is in the eye of the beholder. And so you get to be able to own that, because people are able to see that in you, right? But identity, I was going to say, identity is so important when we talk about naming things, because identity is how we form our sense of self, right? It's like our roadmap, right? And our identity can be connected to many, many things, but our ability to recognize how our history has shaped us, right? What we want to do with that, because oftentimes people don't know that. We can actually do something with that. We don't have to just be named by history and not actually use that for our good.
What can we do with it?
Oh, we can do a lot of things, right? I've had clients that have come from, again, a lineage of folks that just fell prey to the crack epidemic.
Wow.
Like, that is their history. That is your family. And also, those same people told you that you were nothing, that you would be nothing. And that is encoded into your psyche. So let's use that, right? Because if we don't, that's actually what you will become. That will be your future. And so using it is, let us learn about the voices that really taught you that. And what level of despair they were in, right? That they wanted to offer you whatever history and lineage they had. And what they had was pain.
That's what I feel about the guy you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parents transition before,
absolutely.
After,
but there was maybe something that they
had an incredibly volatile relationship, like the most volatile.
Yeah,
I'm always identifying with I say to myself, like, but for God, like, we could be anybody.
Yeah,
humans have capacity to be it from this extreme to that. I mean, I'm talking about the people that we judge. We are so close to being them. Circumstantially, we're just not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many times where like maybe there was somebody in my car in high school that had something on them they shouldn't have had or something. But a cop passed by and kept driving.
Man, the number of close calls I think all of us have had. That,
you know what I'm saying?
Where one small pivot here and
one
there,
little thing that we didn't even have any control over.
Just
changed everything,
life.
and everybody would have looked at you differently had that thing happened to you, right? You would have been stained with that thing. So I'm always kind of like I try my best not to judge. I usually sit in somebody's shoes. When you put somebody's shoes on, man, your whole perspective. It changes.
I mean, listen, I think that as a kid growing up, the inputs you have into your life impact everything that you have going forward, right? It's like anything. Good data comes in, good data comes out at the end of the day. The positivity and the things that you put into a child comes out there. So if you're putting things into them that they're going to believe is true based on one person's point of view, you're never going to see anything else come out of them. So their identity will forever be rooted in that thing, that the realist thing. That's why I'm always like incredibly mindful of what I say to my kids, all of them, to be able to make sure that they receive input that's balanced. That they'll get stern me, they'll get friendly me, they'll get like, yo, what
I've
the
seen
fuck
it this
me?
week, and it's amazing.
You see
It's so
all parts
honest.
of it, right? And the honesty with them is like, you just got to give it to them, you know? Like, my son, he's of age now and driving. And so he loves to drives everywhere. He's like, I'm like, I don't even love to drive that much. When
Especially in New York.
Especially in New York. So he loves to drive everywhere. He's like, yo, go drive. And because he's driving, he's committed to taking everybody everywhere. I'm like, great. So he didn't get up one morning for one of our kids' first days of school. And so next thing you know, Dad, you have to take me to school. I'm like, wait, I thought he was taking you to school. It's like, no, he's still sleeping. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, let's go. So we took off. And so I had to call him like, listen, I know you're driving, everything. There's a responsibility that comes from making a commitment that you're going to take someone to school. It's not like you're just taking them out to the store, going to school. So if you make that commitment, get up in the morning and do it. And if you can't, it's fine. But as a result, my day now has to adjust because you have not been able to fulfill your end of the bargain and the commitment here. And it's fine. We all oversleep, make mistakes, but just know that's the impact of it. So you should be mindful about making commitments for stuff like that. And he's like, I get it. I understand that. You know what I mean? I get that. And I appreciated that. It's like, I wasn't mean. I wasn't hard. It's like, yo, but this is an input for you to understand the impact that you have in this responsibility of driving. And he got that. I loved it. And then even my daughter, she's out enjoying, having fun, doing this, doing that. You know, they're absolutely, doing things they shouldn't be doing. I talk to her. It's like, yo, if you're going to do these things, this is the risk that comes along with it.
Good.
These are the risks that come along with it. You should make a decision that makes sense for you, but just know that these actions have consequences and you just happen to be sliding by right now. So be careful about the things you decide to do because this could be bad. And so, but I got to put it in front of him now. This is what it is, right? The yelling, the stomping, that doesn't impact him. But giving him the space as well to be able to come back and be honest about things and have honest conversations about things has been incredibly helpful. And my identity as a parent has also changed. Right? How my parents parented is not the way that I'm parenting by any means. So even me, the way I see myself as a father, I look at myself in fatherhood differently than my dad did. My dad was a coddler. He coddled everything, right? The entire time. He's like, no, you're fine. It's okay. Come here. I'm like, get off me.
So something that I loved about what you do is that you help ambitious people restore their ambition, right? People suffering from, I guess, losing their ambition. I'm curious about that. My wife has an incredible podcast called With Everything, and she talks about on there, it used to be called Audacity, and she had a rebrand, and now it's called With Everything. And the premise is what happens when God breathes on a podcast, what happens when I surrender my ambition and I pursue God with full intent, right? And I'm watching this play out, and it's this beautiful transition because her ambition has led her to so many great opportunities. And now she's sitting in the middle of opportunities that she's now saying no to some of them, and because ambition can get the best of you. So how do you what is your relationship to ambition? How do you see ambition? Can it have a negative side effect? When have you gone too far? And how do you reel those in who suffer from ambition?
Suffer from ambition. That's a real thing.
Didn't know that I suffer from ambition. Okay.
Ambition is beautiful. Ambition is our drive. You know, it's our motivation in life. And for some folks, it becomes the central focus of everything that they are. Right. And too many folks have learned that ambition must be divorced from emotional wellness. Right? Especially with the population that I work with, which is high achieving folks, because it is really your sense of ambition that has gotten you to the height and the central platform that you have. Right? If you're a professional athlete, if you're a lawyer, if you're an actor, if you're a musician, similar psychology, right? Most people wouldn't know that, right? But that's the population I work with.
Oh, for sure. Because I mean, when I'm like connecting with athletes, or there's like this mutually understood, like, oh, I just a respect, because it's like, I know you had to do some things to get here,
absolutely.
some hard work. So if you have that level of, you know, like discipline and focus, we're already aligned in some way. That's how they, like, you see rappers hanging out with musicians, and this mutual understanding.
Absolutely. They have that drive, that grit, that ability to kind of rise above how they feel. That same drive that helps you to perform or to play at your best is the same thing that you really, that prevents you from actually feeling how you might be in your well-being.
Interesting.
Right? I can rise. Think about it. Like, let's think about Kobe. Like, he was able to rise above, like, how many shots a day?
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm tired. I don't care if I'm hurt. I don't care if someone's just died. Literally. I don't care if, right, like that level of like militant grit, that Mamba mentality.
I know how to get to that place.
Really, for some, destroys their ability to have emotional wellness.
Wow.
And so how do we actually balance emotional wellness with this high level of ambition? There is a world, I believe, not many people talk about this. That's why I thought it was important for me to do so. How do I create a world where you don't have to sacrifice your elite ambition in order to take care of your mental health? If there's a way to do that, I believe there is a way to do that. We must be teaching people how to do that. We must be talking about it. And so that's kind of been my mission with the folks that I work with, obviously, but then also wherever I'm able to talk about it, to remind people that sometimes your ambition comes from a hurt and traumatized psyche. By the way, if we think about Michael Jordan.
We spoke about him on the podcast. Making up.
Absolutely.
Looked at me. He talked about my family. I used to be the same way.
Absolutely. Yes.
Trying to sustain off of negativity because it's useful, but it's not sustainable.
Absolutely.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm looking at the camera.
Why are you talking to y'all? Why are you looking at me? I just said that our quiet truth on one of our episodes was we had a disagreement. My position is grudges are good.
Yeah.
Grudges are good because it fuels you to start something that you normally would have not started because it motivates you. But grudge can then be a addiction and a heroin addiction to where you just go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Now you're doing Fenty folds inside your house, right? Because you're making decisions that are not now in the best interest of you, but in the best interest of the addiction.
Oh, absolutely. It becomes your God.
Yeah.
Right. And most people also don't recognize that we don't have like multiple internal emotional states or emotional selves, I should say. We have one.
Yeah.
And so that same person that is feeding off of opposition for you playing in this game or you know, in the courtroom is the same self that is trying to relate to your spouse.
Yeah.
Like it's not a different person.
Yeah.
It's the same person. And so why is it that we're having these relational issues? Why is it that I can't keep a relationship? Why is it that I'm having challenges parenting my child? Why is it that I keep having beef with my friends? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so that level of ambition is really, really good in this one place, in that one way.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in your personal life, it's destroying what you actually are trying to build.
That's good, because you hear the notion of ambitious men, ambitious well, you typically hear about ambitious women. I'm sure there's other statistics that culture just so happens to ignore. But what do you say to like ambitious women who have trouble maybe finding a partner because they're doing exactly what they should be doing, which is having an incredible life and using their gifts, and how that's like shooing people away and making there be this delta between like
Absolutely.
the available and the unavailable.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Well, again, ambition must be balanced with your emotional wellness, right? That you need not use your success as a barricade to vulnerability. Right? And many people do that, right? It's like, oh, I can't talk to this person. I've got this going on, or I'm busy, and doesn't he know I got these 8 things and I'm successful? It's like, wait.
Yeah.
These are barriers, sis. Like, you're protecting yourself with your ambition.
Yeah.
And it is not something that is generative or helpful or fruitful for you, because really internally you long to have that sense of belonging and connection and closeness and all of the things that come with it. And so I really do talk to women and men, right? And folks in general about listening to yourself, what you truly desire, right? Not the protected self, not the like kind of militant self that had to like grind and like work really hard and you are who you are because you did that. Yeah, that's beautiful. And now you're here. You survived.
Wow.
You made it.
Wow.
That's really good.
Now what?
Wow.
Now what? That's really good.
How do I live here, right?
Yeah, I have conversations. I have some friends who are going through divorces, and I say to them, they have all the things to say and all the things, and I say, all right, forget all of that. If you were to have it your way, what do you want? And it's like this opening, this clarity happens because they haven't been thinking about what they actually want.
Oh, absolutely.
They're thinking about the pain. They're thinking about this. They're thinking about defense and offense. And it's like, wow. Well, I mean, I would love if, we could like come in the house and she says, how are you? And ask how my day was. And it's like, oh, so there is a desire there, which means perhaps there is an opportunity to work through. You can take that. Are you willing to take the course to get there? Or are you not? Right. And I think that helps people find some sort of a spark or a reason or some sort of inspiration to continue on once they finally ask themselves, like, what do I want?
Absolutely.
That's funny. I saw a meme, and I'm gonna butcher it because I don't think it's all the way correct, but it's like talking about divorce and what do you really want? And the meme said, be careful what's on the other side in that grass, because all that's out here, for the woman, all that's out here is Axe body spray and like Axe body spray and late night pizza. That's all you gonna get that's out here for
especially
you, bro.
Especially at a certain age.
You know what I mean? That's all it's out here for you, bro. But anyway, Dr. Boateng, thank you so much for spending time with us. I feel like I got a free therapy session.
I feel something. I don't know.
Appreciate it.
No.
You hit my soul, hit my bones, you hit everything in there. You definitely enlightened all of us for sure. So thank you again for making a trip from Philly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hang out with this John.
Where can we find you? Where can we discover you? How do you like to engage?
Absolutely.
What are you willing to do to help? I'm sure people are going to be coming to you.
All the things. Well, first of all, I want to thank you both.
Of course.
It's not lost on me how powerful you two are and the beautiful things that you've been doing in the space that you're in and changing lives and making current for other people to come behind you. And so I just want to thank you for the people that you are,
Thank you.
for the men that you are, and for the power that you put out into the world, and empathy and compassion and all the things that you do.
Thank you.
And you can follow me on Instagram, Dr. Akua K. Boateng, on all socials, and email me, same thing, info@akuiakboateng.com if you're looking for support. On the coaching side, privately, I do that with folks in sports, entertainment, and business, and then therapy as well with high achievers.
Nice. We got to get you connected with She's Got Time with Swing Cash's
I
conference
love
out
what she's,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, she deals with a bunch of folks in sports, Women in Sports Conference, and
Absolutely.
it's in Vegas during Summer League, so all the players and everybody's out there. We definitely got to connect you too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love that. Thank you, everyone who was listening. And this is
The Quiet
Truth.
Cut.